President William Ruto has said that any member of parliament who will vote against the Finance Bill 2023 is an enemy of the people. The president says leaders opposing the bill are against the plan to create jobs.
Mimi nakubaliana ya kwamba kila mjumbe ajulikane amepiga kura wapi. Mimi nangojea mbunge mwenye anaenda kupiga kura ati kupinga mpango ya serikali kuwapatia hawa vijana ambao waliwapigia kura ati ajira. So mimi nangojea wale watu wataenda bunge kupinga ile kazi tunataka kupangia wale, na nijua watakuja kusimama wapi.
Ruto defended his move that seeks to see the bill passed, saying it will enable him implement development projects in his grand plan.
Hata wale watu wa upinzani wanakubaliana na mambo ya housing. Shida tu wako naye ni kwamba sio wao wanatekeleza.
The MPs have vowed that they will pass the finance bill when it will be tabled in parliament.
Hii kitu sisi tutapitisha. Na nilisema na nirudie, serikali haishindwi. Mimi kama chief whip kule bungeni nitahakikisha hii kitu ya finance bill imepita, kwa sababu lazima serikali iendelee mbele.
Na nyinyi wabunge wa National Assembly, msitishwe. Nimesikia Kalonzo Yoksasa anasema ati majina yatasomwa, majina. Speaker wa bunge amekaa hapa, yeye ndio atatoa orodha.
When Osoro you do what you have said you'll do, which you must do. Mkipitisha. Tukikatwa sisi, hao wenye hakuna mtu nakata hao watajua hakuna mtu alikuwa na haja na hawa. Hii kelele yote itafika mwisho.
The leaders also expressed their unwavering support for the Housing Fund project that has similarly elicited mixed reactions from the public.
Sisi tulipofika, tulipewa mortgage 35 million Kenya shillings ya pesa ya wananchi at only 3%. Na wa kwanza kuchukua ni wale wa Azimio ambao saa hii hawa wanachukua pesa huko alafu wanarudi kwa wananchi wanaweka fitina. We want to challenge our colleagues, especially wale wanatoka upande wa Azimio. If indeed you don't believe in the housing agenda, rudisha ile pesa ya mortgage ambayo mlichukua ndio tujue kweli amwamini hii maneno ya manyumba.
Your Excellency, there's a lot of heat that is not generating any effect. I want to advise you as a friend, never fear to act, never act in fear.
For those of us who are telling me that we should wait on this housing plan, I have this to tell them. We were 60 years ago, we were at the same level with Korea. We were at the same level with Singapore. We were at the same level with Malaysia. Today, in those countries, 80% of their population are living in decent houses. We are yet to begin in Kenya. And you are telling me, let us wait. We are 60 years late.
Just listening to his bravado, it is stinking in pride with a lot of unparalleled hypocrisy. To an extent that we can no longer say that this is the same man to whom used to walk around quoting Bible verses in each and every place that he went. Kenyans elected a dictator, and the good thing is they are all aware of it. It is just that they were made to believe that the dynasties was the main problem. To an extent that they fail to understand that hatred is the worst weapon, because during its retaliation time, even the handler can never control it. And it is from this Finance Bill 2023 that it has made several Kenyans to know that many UDA allied MPs are physically with President Ruto, but emotionally opposing his policies. And that could be the reason why we are seeing the president posing some threats to his allied MPs. President William Samoei Ruto should be reminded that he can have all the MPs vote for this bill, but on the other hand, lose each and every citizen who voted for him. And that is exactly how the former president Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta lost ground the time when he was trying to impose the BBI to Kenyans. And so with this bill, this is an ill-conceived bill that should be a mission equally dead on arrival. before the chambers of Parliament. And I'm really glad that Kenyans across the political divide have decided to unite so that they can oppose this finance bill, simply because they know once this finance bill passes, then they will automatically be slaves of the government for their lifetime. I fail to understand why each and every citizen, inclusive of the members of parliament, are entitled to their own opinion. So he trying to force the MPs by threatening them to pass this finance bill is equally breaching or undermining Kenya's democracy. And so he should stop coercing the MPs and instead let them vote consciously for this bill. And with such threats from the president, I kid you not, Kenya will soon find itself in a dysfunctional democracy, simply because up to the time of this broadcast, the Speaker of the National Assembly, Moses Masika Wetangula, hasn't come out publicly to condemn the threats from the president. That shows you how the executive may be in control of the other arms of the government. It should be made known to the president that he should stop his blatant intimidation, or else that shall be the beginning of his downfall. And as I come to the penultimate part of this video, in case if you're watching me for the very first time, kindly just consider hitting on the subscribe button. If you've been watching my videos and you've not subscribed, kindly just consider hitting on the subscribe button. And also, if you're watching me from a different platform, either Telegram, TikTok, or Facebook, kindly just head on over to YouTube, search for Mohamed Sudi. I'll be the first right person to pop up if matters socio-economic and political matters are your great areas of concern. Kindly do consider hitting on the subscribe button so that each and every time that I upload a new video, it will automatically reflect on a notification panel. And by so doing, you'll simply be supporting my content. Thank you, and may God bless you.
We are imposing a 30% duty on imported furniture. Why are we importing furniture, good people, from China and all manner of places, when we have our young people from Tibet, we have wood products, it can be made locally. Explain to me, give me one reason why we should continue to import furniture from wherever. There is no reason. Sindio? Hakuna, there is no reason. So we just stop it, alafu tuendelee na ile kazi tuko naye hapa. We will shortly have developed the industry enough, not just to make our own products, but when we give them a market, they will improve in their quality, and shortly we will be exporting furniture to other places. That is the trajectory we want to go. That is what is in the finance bill. We have also said, why are we importing paint? For heaven's sake. Ngumi here says it is possible to manufacture paint in Kenya. Let us support local manufacture. I like what my good friend from the pharmaceutical has said. He has said that we need to encourage local manufacture. That industry is like 300 billion shilling industry. 70% we are importing. 60% is generics. You know, these are just things we can manufacture locally here. And that is why we have done two things. We have said in the budget this year, deliberate. Two things. We have said manufacturers of human vaccines and medicine will pay a lower corporate tax than the others to give leverage to those who want to manufacture in Kenya. Number two, we have removed tax on equipment and materials for manufacture of pharmaceuticals in Kenya. Again, to support our universal health coverage and to make medicine affordable in Kenya. It is there in the budget. I don't know why people are not reading. On issues of taxation, on e-mobility, on issue of chargers, and I have instructed Moses to make sure that they are with clarity, including the lithium maneno, because I want to launch that program later this year. And we want to transit from using fossil fuels, from using diesel or petrol or kerosene on our pikipikis and two-wheelers and three-wheelers, and save ourselves the kind of money. We are spending $500 million every month to import our fuel products. We can cut that down by half if we go the direction that Goodman is saying, if we go the direction that we have put in our finance bill this year. We have a line in our budget to support pyrethrum. We are putting some resources in cooperative development, we are putting some resources in matter seeds, and we are willing and ready to partner with you so that we can turn around the pyrethrum sector and create opportunities for farmers and for us as a country to leverage on it to get foreign exchange and to export our products. I am looking forward to, once we finish with the budget, to a proper engagement between our ministries, both trade, agriculture, with our county governments, so that you can tell us where the gaps are. And so that we can see what resources do you have, how can we backstop, how can we fill the gaps about cotton and about palm oil. These are the two sectors that we have deliberately put in our plan because they hold a very huge potential of incomes for farmers, but also creating opportunities for jobs for our young people. We are changing the model in Ketraco. We were using government money to develop transmission lines. We want the private sector to develop transmission lines. We will pay them a willing charge when we use it to transport our energy. The law is already there, so we are in discussion with people who can invest in transmission lines. That's number one. Number two, we've just agreed on reforming Kenya Power and Lighting Corporation. It is overdue. We have a lot of manenos there, so we are dissecting it so that we can, because number one, we are losing between 20 and 30% of all our energy, which we pay for, but we don't consume because it gets lost somewhere. It is because of many things. Vaccines and medicine will pay a lower corporate tax than the others to give leverage to those who want to manufacture in Kenya. Number two, we have removed tax on equipment and materials for manufacture of pharmaceuticals in Kenya. Again, to support our universal health coverage and to make medicine affordable in Kenya. It is there in the budget. I don't know why people are not reading. So we are being deliberate. When we are talking about, when you see there, we are saying pharmaceuticals. We have made policy interventions in the budget to clearly support the manufacture of pharmaceuticals in Kenya because it will save us foreign exchange. As my good brother said there, it will give us the assurance that if anything happens anywhere, we can manufacture our own medicine and we will not be stranded with sick people. That is a value chain that we need to work on, and we have made policy interventions. We have put it in the budget to support that sector. We want to see how it is possible for us, all our 14 million kids in school, instead of wearing plastic from all manner of places, they should be able to wear shoes from our own livestock. And we can be able to get those shoes better with a price that is affordable to all of us, and we can agree how that can be funded. I see many counties funding school milk. We can also do school shoes. And we can partner to make sure that all our kids are sitting good in school, not bare feet, like the way all of us did when we went to school. For primary, secondary, TVET, and university, every year we spend 650 billion. Every year. That is 28% thereabout of our budget. And it is important for us to understand that because we are spending that amount of money, we have developed one of the best human capital in the world. We pride ourselves of having one of the best human capital in the world. We churn out about between 800 and 1 million young people into the labor market every year. After we spend this huge amount of money, it should concern us as a nation what happens to this big investment we make in the education and the development of our human capital. Otherwise, we would be very reckless. And it is the reason why I want to encourage all of us here, especially my good friends in the private sector, that it is important for us collectively to think about how we are going to create opportunities for the 800,000, 1 million young people will churn out every year from our education system because we spend a colossal amount good people of Kenya. Are we going to stop a whole project that can hire 1 million young people every year? A project that will support our industrialization agenda, those who produce cement, those who produce steel, those who produce doors, those who produce hinges and windows, the architects, the quantity surveyors, the electricians, the masons, the carpenters who are supposed to work in that space. Are we going to stop the whole of that exercise because we are not sure about governance? I have given my personal undertaking. The buck will stop at my desk. And I intend to take